This is what I have learned about hope in the face of evil. I have learned that there seems to be this law of balance, iterated, of course, by many cultures through history in their texts and in the passing down of knowledge. But as I have found it, and to speak on my personal experience, I have found that when we interact with prejudice, policy, projection, or anything that you might account as something the child's heart did not expect, there is this necessitated counterbalance where, because of the friction that is felt, the heart cannot wake up. It cannot help but wake up to its own truth. It is so obvious to the child what is false and what is incorrect. It is so obvious to our hearts if we have not forgotten how to love like a child. It is so obvious to our hearts where behaviour has forgotten. It has forgotten what is true, and it has forgotten how to love. And this is not a commentary on othering evil or othering bad or othering any of those things. I have observed all of this in myself as well, if not more common than externally, as a young person. And the important thing, of course, is choice. When we observe and when we feel that disharmony or that behaviour that just didn't feel like ours, instead of ignoring it, instead of suppressing it, we must look at it, and we must look at it for what it is. We do not have to label ourselves as bad, but we do have to tell ourselves that we forgot potentially in that moment who we are, what we are capable of, and our power. And I think hope in the face of evil is this one thing. It is remembering where true power lies. And I think a lot of the time, evil or anything that is potentially trying to make you scared or lives in you through fear is actually this parading, this masquerading, this pretending to be so powerful and potentially only feels that it is due to, in fact, your attention to it. It is the power of your heart that is projecting its power onto this thing. And this even goes for within yourself. If you've got this internal cramp that just won't disappear, potentially over a mistake you made, then it is potentially the deep, deep, deep dwelling of knowledge in your heart that you are powerful and that you misuse that power that is projecting it onto this mistake so deeply that you choose to self-punish or victimize yourself. And this is not one of the most common answers talked about. I hear people talk about so often how others did them wrong, and we box other people for their mistakes. And I just think you can be the most altruistic person, or you can try to be, and we are still still able to be blind. After all, we only see the moon at night. Maybe not literally, but there's a lyric I love from a Paramore song that says, like the moon we borrow our light, so let your glory and mercy shine. And it's this humility that we need to have, to remember and make choices that we want to make in the way we want to make them. And having not been brought up from a religious space or background, you will still encounter these, I don't know, archetypes, energies, like use any label from any school of thought you wish. Do you know, you know? But in the face of evil, the place that I found hope and the place that I overcame came right from my chest. It was a light. It was just a light, and it was just a purity of heart. And it was this deep inner knowing that I had never known until that very moment. That this all encompassing, terrifying moment that was meant to scare me just wasn't real. It was totally intangible. And the very act of me remembering that I have a heart, I have a human heart born into this world, that is the only thing that was true. That was the only thing that was true, and I have no explanation for it. But this is my experience, and it's completely shaped my life, and I wanted to share it somehow, somewhere, with someone, and here seemed like a good place. Hopefully, the right people stumble across it, but it just taught me something about what's inside of us. And I've never been taught or influenced by any religious backgrounds, and this is not at all a commentary on religion whatsoever, but it is a commentary on humans and humanity. I don't pretend to know much about anything really. There's too many books in the world to read, and the more you know, the less you know, sort of thing. Um, all I know is this water sound just is so relaxing to me, and I know that nature is true and nature is holding us, and I know that we must love it, and we must love ourselves in the same way. Thank you.